Homies, it's the election. The United States election. You got Trump or Biden. What's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? I mean, stock market. Are things going to go nuts? Are we going to have protests? Is that going to shoot Bitcoin to the moon? Stock market's going to crash. What's going on? All that and more in this video. And before we dive into it, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date on the latest in the crypto space. So just diving right into it, I want to check out the good old Bitcoin chart. Checking out on the daily, what should we expect with Bitcoin over, today, tomorrow, the next week? What's going to happen? Well, at the end of the day, homies, if you're dollar cost at like averaging, who really cares? Who really cares what's going to happen? If you're dollar cost averaging, you've been doing this for weeks after weeks, months after months, it doesn't matter. It's just like if you have a 401k, it does not matter. Your retirement plan, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this say things tank 30%. Look what happened. Let's just give you a friendly reminder what happened back in March when we had our liquidity crisis. If you're not aware, that's what it was. Look, back in March, 3 weeks straight of red. I mean, what a bloodbath. Just look at that. Terrible. People were freaking out. There's people at my job were freaking out. Their retirement accounts were just getting decimated. And guess what, homies? We're back at it. We're higher. At least Bitcoin's up there. If you don't own Bitcoin, I don't know why. I don't know what you're doing. I mean, take that cash, which is trash, turn it into some good old Bitcoin. It's actually worth something. But like we're looking, I wouldn't be surprised to see a major dump here. I mean, I personally would love to see a major crash right here to get some Bitcoin on a great discount. Most people don't look at it like that. They're like, oh my goodness, I have my life savings into it. No, we can't have that happen. But look, I mean, like looking on the weekly, I mean, this candle looks like a lot. If you've been on this channel, what does this wick right here indicate, homie? I've said this time after time after time after time again. Let me know down in the comments what that means, what this kind of wick means. Anyways, that's a good sign. Even though we have a red candle, it's still a good sign. Backing up to the monthly, everybody's so focused on what's happening today. And later in this video, we're going to go over some tweets that pretty much just say it how it is and how, anyways, you'll see later in this video. But as you can see on the monthly, I mean, keep in mind, last month we had a beautiful close, an amazing monthly close. We almost had the number one history for Bitcoin closing the highest. Bad grammar there. Anyways, it was very close to being the highest candle in Bitcoin's history to ever close. And look, it's the second in the history. We're going to beat that, homies. I know it's going to happen. 100K, here we come. If you guys have seen the stock to flow models, the stock to flow models just, I mean, at least 100K. You have Plan B, his projections anywhere from 100K to 864K. John McAfee has also mentioned $1 million Bitcoin. There's more. I mean, you have the Gemini twins mentioning the case for a $500,000 Bitcoin. I went over these things back like over time, so I can obviously go into more detail. But basically, just summing it up right there, there's more and more cases for Bitcoin to keep rising. And with the current elections, with everything that's going on, there's probably gonna be some civil unrest. Whatever happens. I mean, I see major cities are boarding up their windows. They're expecting major riots and everything. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a contrarian, so if everybody's preparing for something, it's probably not going to happen. Just like if everybody's preparing for the stock market to crash, probably not going to happen. I think the crash was actually last week. You saw Apple came out with amazing earnings, amazing, yeah, and they just got crushed. It just did not work out. So just keep that in mind. And that was last week because I think everybody anticipated this Monday that they'd be selling, because Tuesday's the election. But at the end of the day, homies, it doesn't matter. This whole video is about the election. It doesn't matter if Trump wins. It doesn't matter if Biden wins. It doesn't matter who wins. At the end of the day, it's on you to take control of your life because that's what we're getting in here. Okay. So here it is. Dan Go at Fit Founder. He's a great follow on Twitter. He says the only thing that matters today is putting in your time and doing your best. Yeah, you cannot rely on the government. You gotta rely on yourself and do your best. And that kind of coincides with Leia Helpner, if I'm saying that right. She tweeted out, "I completed the communism tour of Romania. The government told their citizens their actions were in their best interest." Doesn't that sound familiar? They use children as propaganda. I'm not going to go into detail how America's doing that. Seems familiar. Dun, dun, dun. I'm pretty sure she's from the UK. But a lot of this seems familiar. I personally have a friend. His parents back in the 70s, they escaped. They were born in Romania. They were slaves in Romania, okay? Slaves. They literally got the potato peels for a meal. I mean, terrible, terrible conditions. They escaped Romania. And they didn't know if they'd make it out alive. They came to America. well, here they are, all their families here, and it's good, like 30 years later. But I mean, terrible living conditions, terrible. People died. It was just terrible. So, like, my whole point being is we cannot rely on the government. The government's not here to save us. The government will not fix your problems. If you believe the government will fix your problems, I got bad news for you. You're just going to be disappointed the rest of your life. So we'll leave it at that. But some great news, though. Jason A. Williams, MicroStrategy now owns $500 million worth of Bitcoin. That's the tweet. Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy Incorporated, which you would know if you've been following these videos. And if you're new here, homie, make sure you smash that subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest in the crypto space. And so we're going to also check out, I brought this site up before, bitcointreasuries.org. Remember when it was all on one page? Like when you go at this and everything was there? Guys, it's filling up more and more. We have 786,000 Bitcoin held by publicly traded companies or private and / ETF-like products. I mean, on a day like today where everything's so negative, we're all so stressed out, like what's going on? You gotta look at the long picture. You gotta stay level-headed. You gotta stay humble, and you just gotta, don't think about what's happening today or tomorrow. Think about 6 months from now. Think about what's happening a year from now. Take action today that'll help you be a better person in 6 months from now. You're not gonna see, like that instant gratification will kill you. It will kill your future self. It's just not good, homies. Everybody's out for that instant grad. You don't want that, okay? You want to be able to stay level-headed. Just take every day one step at a time. And just keep making progress in whatever you're doing. You're trying to lose weight, you're trying to have better anything in life, better habits, discipline, and like education, reading. You just gotta stick with it one day at a time, take one step at a time, break it up into small, bite-sized goals, and go from there. Because at the end of the day, the government's not gonna fix that. And I know it's sad to hear, because I mean, some people believe it's going to happen. But going back to this whole thing about, the government told its citizens their actions were in their best interest. I mean, just like with the CDC saying that the masks were not necessary, and then 3 months later coming out and say they were, but we just didn't want you to say that they were because we didn't have enough. So once again, don't rely on them. You need to rely on who? Who should you rely on? You should rely on yourself, homie. And it's the same thing with investing. You watch these videos on YouTube. You may pay for a newsletter. You may do this. You may do that. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility what you do with your money. So this whole election video, I just think it's something that, yes, the election's serious, and there may be some rioting. There may be some bad things. You may see Bitcoin tank. You may see it rocket. You may see the stock market tank. You may see it rocket. End of the day, it's still on you to make your decisions and go from there. I'm personally excited to see what happens with the stock market. I wouldn't be surprised to see a crash today, like a little pullback, just because there's a lot of uncertainty. And the market doesn't like uncertainty, as you can see with Bitcoin. Let's go back to the daily. Let's actually pull up the 4 hour. The market does not like uncertainty. It does not like that. So, and I mean, as you can see. So the cool thing is, though, just stay level-headed, look long-term, and keep in mind with the good old Bitcoins, we're hanging in there. We, the second highest high of the monthly close. And I want a fun fact, guys. Homies, we almost have a sub $2 uni. I don't know about you. That's pretty exciting, because that'd be a great buying time if you ask me. The analyst looks like they're correct. Hit $2.06. So some of you may be disappointed, some of you may be happy, but hey, we shall see what happens. And as always, what is your opinion about the elections? What do you think is going to happen? Riots, no riots? You think there's going to be, a massive crash in the stock market like Uni has over the past, let's just not even say how long, because it's just not looking good. But do you think we're going to have a crash? What's going on there? And what do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to skyrocket, moon, stay the same, or are you just holding long-term dollar cost averaging, just like the homie himself? Let me know down in the comments below. And I'd like to thank every single one of you for watching this video. Smash that like button, subscribe for more content. Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, morning, wherever you're from, because the Crypto Homie is signing out.